The NFL draft is in the books. The Jets had 10 new additions this year. Let's go through each pick and give a grade for this draft class. Jets! Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. I know this video is coming out a little bit later, like a week later than the NFL draft, but your dude's busy. He's got a wedding coming up. Work and all that good stuff. So I'm finally getting to this video. We're going to grade all the draft prospects, and then I'll give my overall grade for this whole draft class, which, asterisk, can't really have a full grade for a draft class until we've seen them play a little bit. But these are my initial reactions, and we'll kind of go through it little by little. So first up, first round, pick number 2, we take quarterback from BYU, Zach Wilson. Number 2 overall. We have a new signal caller. This was a pick that pretty much everyone had us pegged for the entire month leading up to the draft. So not really a shocker to anyone. It's really cool to see this. This guy can throw off platform. We've heard him referred to as the Mormon Mahomes. I like, New Zach City. I like Zach's Fifth Ave. And my personal favorite, Wall Street Wilson. Still have a few of those shirts if you want to get one of those. Link in the description down below. But the dude's got pinpoint accuracy, and he can literally hit every angle trajectory out of his arm. And just like all over the field. The guy is really good. There's going to be people that are complaining about his level of competition and the, I don't want to say one-year wonder because his freshman year was pretty good. But he had injuries in 2019, which kind of hampered his development. So hopefully with this new revamped offensive line for the New York Jets and, some protection, added weapons, maybe he can have a better trajectory going forward and continue this upward swing. Because I'm really excited for this. A lot of people had him as I shouldn't say a lot, but there were people that had him as the number 1 overall quarterback in this prospect class, ahead of even Trevor Lawrence. Chris Sims, looking at you. I like this. So fingers crossed. I just want to see competent play. I don't need to see this guy, throwing up crazy stats this year, but I just want to see progression from week 1 to week 18, and I'll be just fine. So A+ grade for this selection. With our second first-round pick was going to be pick number 23. The Jets gave up 2 third-round picks to move up to pick number 14 with the Minnesota Vikings. And we select ALIJAH VERA-TUCKER, the left tackle from USC. Now, he projects to be a left guard coming out and the best guard in this class. So this is really exciting. After missing out on Joe Thuney in free agency, that was really like the biggest hole on this offense. I mean, we had to figure out what was going to go on with quarterback, but the offensive line piece, the left guard, really, really big-time need here. The Jets go up and get it. And you know what? It kind of hurt a little bit because you lose out on some of the maybe secondary positions or some of the depth that you might have accumulated in that third round. But if you're telling me, hey, what are we going to do for this quarterback? We're going to protect him with the best offensive guard in this class to solidify one of the weakest positions on our team. This is an A+ pick for me. This is someone all Jet fans were hoping would be there at pick 23. And as it got closer to the draft, you kind of had an idea. That wasn't really going to happen. So taking him up at 14 and only giving up 2 third-round picks and getting a 4th-round pick back, I like this, especially considering the Bears gave up a 1st-round pick next year to move up 9 slots, same amount of picks the Jets moved up, with their trade with the Giants. So this is a really great pick for the Jets, and I'm really looking forward to this guy moving forward. Really cool stat here. In his 927 career pass-blocking snaps, he allowed just 3 QB hits. AVT, you keep making that happen. We're going to keep our quarterback upright, and myself and every Jet fan is going to be really, really happy. We want to see some good offensive line play, and it's been a few years since we've had that. Now we jump into the second round, pick number 34. This was a direction I didn't really see the Jets going. After seeing us take a left tackle last year, wide receiver in the second round last year in Denzel Mims, and then the way we brought in Corey Davis and Keelan Cole in free agency, I didn't really see the Jets going wide receiver. They took Elijah Moore, the receiver from Ole Miss. Now, this was something that I was kind of like, oh, this is, it's good. I'm happy. They're definitely investing in their young quarterback. And this is a player a lot of people had the Jets potentially taking at 23. He's a slot receiver. He's 5'9", 185 pounds. He is explosive. A lot of people are comparing him to kind of like a Santana Moss type of player. For those of you that maybe didn't watch Santana Moss, guy is electric. Will take a shot over the middle of the field and will keep on ticking. So this is a really cool pick. I gave this pick an A, especially for value. Again, probably not the direction I would have gone because we do have Crowder for another year, but I guess you're kind of hedging your bets. And then in the event you want to make a trade or cut Crowder to save some cap space, you could make that. It gives you that flexibility. So I think this was a really good pick here. My one little knock, and I know if you guys watched the live stream, I was a little little peeved, but it's not a bad thing. He got flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct or excessive celebration or something at the end of a game while he was playing in college. In a bowl game, nonetheless, this was to tie the game up. That penalty pushed his team back 15 yards. The kicker wound up missing the kick from that distance. So, Elijah Moore, I'm really excited for you, and I can't wait to watch you on game day, but come on. Play smarter than that, brother. All right, so I gave him an A for this. This was a good draft pick here. And then we had to wait the long day 2 stretch because we didn't have any third-round picks. We didn't make any trades, and we get to our lone 4th-round pick. And this is where I thought the Jets could potentially start to go running back. But based on the Jets trading away those 2 third-round picks, I thought they should have gone linebacker, cornerback, somewhere in that realm. And they surprised me, and they take Michael Carter, the running back from UNC. He's 5'8", 190 pounds. Dude is a home run. I like this pick a lot, and it's more so for the value because a lot of people had him as like the 4th-ranked running back in this class. So if you're looking at, would I rather Travis Etienne in the 1st round or Najee Harris in the 1st round or Michael Carter in the 4th round? I'm taking Michael Carter all day. This guy can lay the boom, and he's not even that big. He's just like a little, I don't want to say a little bit of a guy, but 5'8", not the biggest guy for a running back. Dude's incredibly versatile. He had 7.9 yards per carry this past year. Incredible balance. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch this guy play, and I think with these 4 picks that the Jets made at the beginning of their draft, I think you got a day 1 starter in each one of these 4 picks. So I'm really excited here. I think this is an A+, gave it an A because I thought I would have gone in other directions, but A is a perfectly good grade. I like this a lot here. Now we go into the 5th round. With the 5th round pick, we take pick 146. We take JAMIEN Sherwood, the corner, linebacker, safety. When I saw this come up on the screen, I saw safety. I was like pulling my hair out. Like, where are we going with this? And then I go and I do a little bit of research, and it looks like this guy is potentially going to compete for the will linebacker spot here, kind of like that Jamal Adams safety linebacker sort of hybrid. He only missed 4 tackles in 71 attempts. He can man up on the tight end. I would say the biggest knock on him is he's only got 12 career starts, so it's not a huge sample size, and he's sort of an in-betweener. He's not really a linebacker, he's not really a safety, and it's kind of like Owusu-Koramoah, how he fell a little bit because he didn't quite have that locked-in position that he was going to play in the NFL. I gave this a C because I wasn't really looking to go this route here. I would have preferred maybe a few other players, but again, I see what the Jets are doing here. In the 5th round, pick 154, we take Michael Carter, which is basically like the Spider-Man meme. This is Michael Carter 2, also the 2nd Michael Carter we are taking here. And the reaction between the two of them, they're like tweeting at each other. It's like, hey, brother. It's literally Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. This guy's going to be a slot corner, most likely. He played cornerback and safety, and he just doesn't really have the... He's versatile. I'll say that. He doesn't necessarily have a legit home at any one of these positions. I would have preferred the Jets bring back Brian Poole, but given, Atlanta didn't bring back Poole, and now we have an Atlanta D coordinator basically in our house, so I guess it makes sense why Poole wasn't brought back, and solidifying your cornerback slot would be solid here. I gave this a C because I thought it was a little bit early to take a slot cornerback. I probably would have gone with Kerry Vincent Jr. out of LSU personally, but this guy had a great pro day. He ran like a 4.3. This guy's like blazing fast. So if that can translate to on the field, I'm really happy with this pick. I think it's a high upside pick here, so really no complaints. 5th round, pick 175, we take Jason Pinnock. This was was he listed as a safety, I think, or cornerback, whatever. We have him listed as cornerback from Pittsburgh. Good ball skills, can defend the run. His play speed is a bigger concern. From everything that I've watched, they're a little worried about what his NFL speed is going to be. He ran, I think, a sub 4.5 40 at his pro day, but again, it doesn't necessarily translate to on tape. This was one of the picks that I wasn't really high on. I think to wait this long into the draft before selecting a cornerback when we really only have Bryce Hall as like a penciled-in starter this year, probably not the best. I'd give this a C. One of the, I don't want to say weaker players, but one of the weaker selections, I think, in this pick. In the 6th round, pick 186, this was the pick that I thought was the Jets' best value pick. across the board. And that's, I'm going to try and say this name correctly, HAMSAH NASIRILDEEN. He's 6'3", 213 pounds. This guy was considered a mid to high round pick before an ACL injury at the end of 2019. Sidelined him for basically all but 2 games in 2020. So this guy can cover the tight end. He can cover the running back. At that size, there is a lot of upside here. Think Jamal Adams kind of, but not like 6th overall pick Jamal Adams. This is like kind of where this type of player should be selected, mid-round here. I think this is a really high upside for the Jets, and I think this guy will be starting at our will linebacker spot. I think he's the one that's going to be able to earn that spot ahead of Sherwood. So again, I like it. If he stays healthy, I think Jet fans are going to be really happy with this pick. This was an A pick for me, or graded out as an A for me, especially given the value. 6th round, pick 200. This was the pick I believe we received from the Raiders in a trade. I don't know, something like that. We take Brandin ECHOLS from Kentucky. He is a cornerback. He has terrific play speed, good ball skills, and is really effective on crossing routes. He's aggressive against the run, so this is a solid pick. Again, waiting this long for a cornerback, a little concerning for me. I think we're going to have a rough time in the secondary. I think our front 4 is going to be really good, and that may help the secondary a little bit, but I think come 2022 draft, we're going to be looking at, cornerback, edge rusher, maybe right tackle, things of that nature. But cornerback is going to be high up on our priority list next year. I think we're going to we might be losing games because teams can score on our secondary. So to wait this long, not the best. I'll give it a C+. I do like him better than PINNOCK, but I don't know. We'll have to see how this pans out. And then with our final pick in the draft, we take Jonathan Marshall, the D tackle from Arkansas. And when this popped up, I was about to flip my table because I did not want a defensive tackle. If there was one position you could have told me that the Jets were going to take, and I'd tell you, no, don't do that, it would be defensive tackle. Because realistically, this guy's probably like 6th on the depth chart right now. He's 6'3", 317 pounds. He's a one-gap defensive tackle, explosive on the field. He needs to improve his strength at the NFL level. So he's going to have to put on a few pounds, I think. I watched his highlights. Highlights look really good. This is a really, really high athletic player. And I think when you look at this late in the draft, you want to draft those high upside guys that are explosive athletes that could potentially translate to potentially other positions here. So at pick 207, not like a bad pick, but also not the direction I would have gone. I would have liked maybe a tight end or maybe a kicker. There was other areas that I thought were a little more important than defensive tackle. So I gave this a C. I think it's nice. Could be a developmental guy in the event we lose, some of our other defensive tackles over the course of the next few years, or someone gets injured. You're going to be rotating those guys in and out. I just would have gone a different direction. So overall grade, I gave the Jets an A- for this full draft. And then I want to get into a little bit because that was until undrafted free agency. Because undrafted free agency, we found out in the next day or so that we brought in a few guys, and there's 3 in particular that I really like. First one, Green Bean's brother, or Green Bean's guy that he was talking about, Kenny YEBOAH, tight end from Ole Miss. This guy is enormous. I want to say he's like 6'4", could really push Herndon. I like Herndon. I hope he can kind of show us more what we saw his rookie year than what we got out of him the last 2 years. But I didn't want to see us invest too high of a pick in a tight end this year. So to get an undrafted free agent with the upside of YEBOAH, I think is really, really critical here. And then it gives you the opportunity next year to kind of evaluate both guys and then draft a tight end if you need to next year. Then Chris NAGGAR, very, very careful with that name. I feel like Wheel of Fortune from South Park, trying to say that. But kicker was a big important need for this team. We have been horrible at the kicking position the last 2 years. We let Jason Myers walk 2 years ago. Pro Bowl kicker. So I would have liked to have seen the Jets address this during the draft, but to pick one up, just after the draft is all the same to me. I'm fine. Now, will this guy be our actual starting kicker? I don't know. He only kicked for one season last year. Only kicked for one season in his college career. But I don't know. I think someone told me his long was 46 yards. I don't know if that's true, but I saw him bomb a ball 71 yards in practice and hit it through the uprights. So for me, I got this guy a nickname because I'm going to screw up his name, and I know broadcasters are going to have to tread lightly. Let's start calling this guy the N-Bomb. And, oh, geez. I'm sorry. I'm going to get demonetized. All right. So third player I really liked was Tristan HOGE, the right guard from BYU. I think this gives a little bit of comfort for Zach Wilson knowing another rookie coming into the building. I also think right guard is going to be a sneaky position of need. I think Greg Van Roten, Alex Lewis, while he's still playing left guard, could be an option at right guard. We have Cam Clark as a potential option as well. I think there are a few... I don't know. I think competition at that right guard position is going to be important, especially this year. You want to see who you can get of your young guys. And this guy graded out pretty well. I mean, not super high. He wasn't going to be a top draft pick or nothing like that. But I like this. I think it gives comfort for your rookie quarterback, knowing someone going into the room, and it just adds more competition to that offensive line room. So overall, the entire grade that I give this Jets draft class, it's an A+. Hands down, Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh had a great draft. You watch the energy that they had with every selection they made, and it was just exciting, each and every pick. And I'm just ready for the season. This is fun football. This is what the Jets are getting back to. I don't care. We can go 0-17 for all I care this year. But if we're going to have fun on the field and we're going to be able to watch an explosive offense, that's all I want to see. Just give me growth from the rookies. And then 2022, let's hit the ground running. Let's bring in some big free agents. Let's round out this roster with our 2 first-round picks, our 2 second-round picks. Man, I'm getting excited. I can't wait for week 1. Let me know who your favorite draft pick was down below in the comments. Is there a particular player you like? What was your grade on this overall draft class? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, go Jets.